I want you to pause for just a few minutes, because what you're about to hear isn't just another piece of health advice. It has the potential to change how you move, how you feel, and how you experience your life from this point forward. Here's something most people are never told clearly. Your legs are not getting weaker simply because you're getting older. They're getting weaker because you haven't been shown how to nourish them properly. And those are two completely different realities. One leads to decline, the other leads to control. Today we're focusing on control, because the truth is, your body still has the ability to rebuild. Even now, even later in life. Muscle tissue does not just shut off, it adapts based on what you give it. So instead of accepting weakness as inevitable, we're going to look at what actually restores strength. We're continuing with 6 specific foods, each one playing a role, each one building on the next. We've already covered eggs, salmon, spinach, and Greek yogurt. Now we move deeper, into the final pieces that bring everything together. Let's continue. Number 2, beets. Now this is where things start to shift in a powerful way, because strength is not only about muscle, it's about delivery, blood flow, oxygen, communication between your brain and your body. And this is where beets quietly become one of the most effective foods you can add. Beets are loaded with natural nitrates. When you eat them, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes and expands your blood vessels. What does that mean in simple terms? Better circulation, more oxygen reaching your muscles, more nutrients getting where they need to go, and something even more important, better connection between your brain and your legs. That connection is what allows you to move with confidence, to react quickly, to stabilize yourself when you stumble. As we age, that system slows down. Beets help wake it back up. People often notice something very specific after adding beets regularly. Their legs don't feel as heavy. Their steps feel smoother. They don't fatigue as quickly. Even simple movements like walking, standing up, or climbing stairs start to feel more natural again. And the best part? This isn't complicated. You can roast them, blend them into a smoothie, or simply add them to your meals a few times a week. Consistency matters more than perfection. Now, we arrive at number 1, and this is where everything comes together. Number 1, extra virgin olive oil. This might surprise you, because for years many people were told to reduce fat, avoid oils, keep everything as low fat as possible. But what we understand now is very different. Not all fats are harmful. In fact, the right fats are essential. Extra virgin olive oil is one of the most powerful foods you can use to protect your muscles and your overall mobility. Here's why. It contains natural compounds that fight inflammation. And inflammation is one of the biggest hidden reasons behind muscle weakness, stiffness, and joint discomfort. When inflammation stays in your body for too long, it slowly breaks things down. Muscles don't recover properly, joints become less flexible. Movement starts to feel harder than it should. Olive oil helps calm that process, but it does something else too, something even more important. It helps your body actually use the nutrients you're eating. Think about everything we've already discussed. Eggs for protein, salmon for omega-3s, spinach for circulation, yogurt for recovery, beets for blood flow. Olive oil enhances all of them. It helps your body absorb vitamins more efficiently. It supports your cells. It helps maintain the internal environment your muscles need to function. This is why people who regularly include it in their diet often notice less stiffness, better movement, more consistent energy. And here's the key. You don't need a complicated plan. Just start using it daily. Drizzle it over your meals. Add it to vegetables. Use it as your primary oil for cooking at moderate heat. Small changes, done consistently, create real results. Now take a moment and look at the full picture. These 6 foods are not random. They work together. Eggs support muscle building. Salmon reduces inflammation. Spinach improves circulation. Greek yogurt enhances recovery. Beets boost blood flow and coordination. Olive oil ties everything together. This is not about dieting. This is about rebuilding. Because the truth is, you were never meant to feel unstable in your own body. You were never meant to hesitate before standing up or avoid stairs or feel unsure about your balance. Your body still remembers how to be strong. It just needs the right signals. And those signals start with what you give it every single day. So don't wait for a perfect moment. Start with your next meal. Add one of these foods, then another, then another. And over time, you'll begin to notice something subtle but powerful. You move differently. You feel steadier. You trust your body again. And once that trust returns, everything changes. Now I want you to think about this. Which one of these foods can you start today? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because the sooner you begin, the sooner your body begins to respond, and we're just getting started. Start with your next meal. Not tomorrow morning, not next Monday, not when everything feels perfect, your next meal. Because change doesn't begin with a plan. It begins with a decision. A quiet, simple decision that says, I'm not going to wait anymore. And here's what happens the moment you make that decision. Your awareness shifts. You stop eating on autopilot. You stop choosing what's convenient without thinking. You begin to ask a different question. Is this helping me or slowly taking something away from me? That single question, asked consistently, can change everything. Because most of the decline people experience isn't sudden, it's accumulated. Small choices, repeated daily, over months, over years, until the body reflects those choices. But the same principle works in your favor too. Small improvements, repeated daily, over weeks, over months, until your body begins to transform. And this transformation is not dramatic at first. It's subtle, almost unnoticeable, but it's real. Your muscles begin receiving better nutrients. Your blood flow improves slightly. Inflammation begins to calm. And then something interesting happens. Your body starts to cooperate. You wake up feeling just a little less stiff. You move a little easier, you recover a little faster, and that little begins to grow. Because progress builds on itself. Let me show you something powerful. There are two types of people when it comes to aging. The first type believes decline is automatic. They accept weakness as inevitable. They adapt their life around limitation. The second type understands something different. They understand that aging is real, but decline is negotiable. They don't fight aging. They work with their biology. They feed their body what it needs. They move consistently. They build strength instead of surrendering it. And over time, the gap between these two types of people becomes massive. One becomes more restricted. The other becomes more capable. And it all started with something small, a choice. Now here's where I want you to go deeper, because this is not just about food. Food is the foundation, but it's part of a larger system. A system your body relies on to stay strong. And that system has three pillars: fuel, movement, recovery. We've talked about fuel. Now let's briefly touch on the other two, because without them, the full picture isn't complete. Movement does not mean intense workouts. It means using your body regularly, walking, standing, climbing stairs, getting up without assistance. These are not basic activities. They are signals. Signals that tell your body, keep the system strong, I still need it. Without those signals, your body begins to conserve energy. And when your body conserves, it reduces muscle. Not because it's failing you, but because it thinks you no longer need that strength. So move. Not perfectly, not excessively, but consistently. Even a short daily walk is powerful. Even standing up more frequently matters. Even choosing stairs instead of avoiding them makes a difference. Every movement is a message. Now the third pillar, recovery. This is where many people unknowingly slow their progress, because recovery is where rebuilding happens. When you sleep, your body repairs tissue. When you rest, your nervous system resets. When you nourish, your cells rebuild. If recovery is poor, progress is limited. So give your body time. Give it rest. Give it quality sleep. Give it the nutrients we discussed. And when you combine these three, fuel, movement, recovery, something powerful begins to happen. Your body enters a state of rebuilding, not declining, not maintaining, rebuilding. And this is where the shift becomes undeniable. You begin to notice strength returning, not all at once, but steadily. Your legs feel more stable. Your balance improves. Your confidence grows. And here's something that might surprise you. The fear starts to fade. Fear of falling, fear of weakness, fear of what if, because strength replaces fear every time. Now pause for a moment and imagine yourself 3 months from now, not drastically different, but improved. You walk a bit more. You feel a bit stronger. You trust your body a bit more. That version of you is not far away. It is simply built one day at a time, one meal at a time, one step at a time. And the best part, You don't need to be perfect to get there. You just need to be consistent, because consistency beats intensity every single time. Now let's go even deeper, because this is where transformation becomes identity. At some point, this stops being something you try to do, and it becomes who you are. You become someone who nourishes their body, someone who moves daily, someone who values strength. And when that identity shifts, your habits follow naturally. You don't force yourself anymore. You don't rely on motivation. You simply live in alignment with that version of yourself. And that's when change becomes permanent, because it's no longer effort, it's lifestyle. Now I want to bring you back to something very simple, but very important. You are not behind. You are not too late, and you have not missed your chance. Your body is still capable of responding. At 50, at 60, at 70, even beyond. It may take a little longer, it may require more consistency, but the ability is still there, and that should give you something powerful. Hope backed by reality, not empty motivation, not unrealistic promises, but real biological truth. Your body can rebuild if you give it the right environment, and that environment starts today, not in theory, in action. So again, I ask you, what is the first step you're going to take? Will you add eggs to your breakfast? Will you include olive oil in your meals? Will you start walking daily? Will you focus on one simple change? Choose something, commit to it, and begin. Because the sooner you begin, the sooner your body begins to respond, and the sooner you realize something incredible. You were never as limited as you thought. You were simply waiting for the right approach, and now you have it. So take that step and keep going, because this journey doesn't end here. It evolves, it grows, and it keeps giving back to you, day after day, choice after choice, step after step, until one day you look back and realize you didn't just improve your legs, you changed your life.